All right, now we are recording. So, please. So tonight we'll be moving on to enumerating S3 S3 bucket, enumerating S3 bucket enumeration. That's what we're going to look into. And I also quickly want to walk us through um, Notion.io. Like, I made mention in the first two classes that there's need for quality note taking. And I later got to find out about Notion.io is very good, and trust me, you're gonna love it. Like the process step by step. This is the one that I personally did my own walkthrough. I'm going to show you in time of gathering information, arranging of tasks and everything. It's very great. In fact, you can paste code in a way that it will look like as if it's an IDE, integrated development environment. So this was the one that I personally did last for my own note taking. You can see how it arranged everything. So it's very good one. It's a very good one. So let's start for tonight. Problem. Yeah, should remember class notes. All right. So right here we can see this. Let me full my screen to create a new page. To create a new page. Sorry, that's not what I was trying to do. To create a new page, you can just type slash um, page. That will enter a new page entirely. So we can call this page AWS. Someone requested to join the class. So we can do AWS S3 enumeration. So right here we can align it, can do full it. Yeah, so this group now. For this one, you can do, if you have experience with HTML, H1 will make the order to be big, H1. So tonight here we are going to define our scope. That is, in pen testing, there's something called scope. When your client, maybe there's an organization and they only want you to test their e-commerce um, website. That's the scope. They have other websites, they have other platforms, they have other applications, but they only want to limit your scope to just e-commerce website. So that's the scope. So that's what we call scope. So to start this lab, let me walk you through how to start from scratch. To start this lab, you're gonna log into your pornlabs.io. So after logging in, I've logged in already. So after doing that, you just type S3 here. You can see S3, type S3, and you click on Find Lab. So you scroll down, you can see AWS S3 Enumeration Basics. So you click on it, then you click on Start Porno. So then the lab is off. Now you have to put it on here. So you can see the lab is on now. This one is very fast. And you can see the time remaining. We have the total time is 5 hours. So we have 4 hours, 59 minutes left now. So we have enough time to practice this lab. Now you can see this the website. That is this our scope. This is the website they want us to enumerate. So copy that, we put it in our scope, Control V. So come down here, enter another H1, then we do enumeration. So this is where we start finding pasting information we gather. So now let's go to now this is the website you want us to enumerate. So we click on copy here, copy. Let's open it in the browser. Let's look into the website that we want to enumerate. All right, here we are. You can see this is the website. The website is for transport. Those who need a truck, who need trucks to move their goods or their resource, anything from one place to another with truck. You can see a truckload. Okay, what's the load that you want to deliver with the truck? Let's assume it's like 1,000 kg. Distance to travel, how many kilometers? Let's assume 30 kilometers. Logistics time, you see, is it home sheet when you want to park your, but we're not going into that. Let's put something here. Let's assume electrical product. Estimation $1,500. So let's click on estimate. You can see we got an error here. 405 method not allowed. So you can see code here is method not allowed. Message, the specified method is not allowed against this resource. Now, when we begin to see resource, so we start getting to know that, okay, this is a resource. What kind of resource? You can see resource type now is object. And dealing with AWS S3, you always, what you store in the bucket, in AWS S3 bucket are objects. So with this, you can deduce that this is an S3 static web page hosting. I believe some of us have experience with S3 bucket. If you have experience with S3 bucket, can I see our reaction? You have experience with S3 bucket, yeah. So you know that you can make use of S3 bucket to host a static website. To host a static website. So this is a typical example of such website. You can see it's static. You have four method not allowed. So this is this part of our information gathering. So we screenshot this and save it in our notes. And to screenshot from Kali Linux, um, there's a way to do that. There's a way to do that. You need to install it too. In case you don't have it installed, to install the tool, you type sudo apt install flame shot. This is the name of the tool. Flame shot. Then you put your dashboard to enter yes. Then enter my password. You can see flame shot is already in newest version because I have it installed already. In case if you've not installed it before, it will start the installation process here. So let me clear my screen. To open the flame shot, you just come here, applications, type flame shot. You can see it here. Once you click on it, you can see it's already here. The icon is here. So anytime you just want to perform a screenshot, you want to take a screenshot, you just click on it from here. Then you drag it from where you want to screenshot. So you can see here, you use your mouse to select screenshot area, Ctrl S to save the screenshot to a file, Ctrl C to copy selection to clipboard. So let's drag it now. You can see then I will press Ctrl C, I will copy. So I've copied it. I'll come to my Notion notes, then I will paste it here. That's what's sweeting about Notion. So you can see actually it's large. You can reduce the size here. Yeah, kind of reduce the size here. And also you want to align it to the left. Click here. It will align it to the left. Yes, yes. Yeah. Once you just log into your pondlab.io, you have access to the lab. You have access to the lab already. So you can spin it up. It's free. It's not part of the paid plan. So this our this no, the reason why we need to take this screenshot so that when we are presenting this to our client, these are the information we are going to tender when we try to estimate this was the error and everything. So we can just when you press a dash here, or you call it a knifing and a space, that will enter a list. You can just say error indicating that the website is inside from um, S3 bucket. So we take that note, we come here. Now, one of the things to do is that we'll try to perform other functions on the website. Let's try to perform some other function if we'll be able to do that. Let's try to perform. Now you see, if you click on home, nothing changed. News, nothing changed. Contact, nothing changed. Client, status, tracking, nothing changed. About, nothing changed. So this purely, a static website. It's just a static website. Nothing's changing. Nothing is changing here. So let's try to inspect. We can view our page source. Rather, you click on that. You right click and click on that. You can see style sheet, href. Now we even get more confirmation that this is serving from AWS S3 bucket. You can see https s3.amazon.com/dev. You can see this serving the content from S3 bucket. This serving it from S3 bucket. So we are going to take a screenshot here too as well. We are going to take a screenshot starting from the web page URL. So let me just take this screenshot here. All right. The URL too is very important. So we are going to indicate that to highlight even from your screenshot, you click on this square box, the one that looks like fade. It's fade. You can say set selection as the pane two. You click on this, then you can start your selection here. One of the things we want to highlight is our URL, so that when we are delivering this to the client, we know that we got this from the legit URL statement, and also this too. So now we can do Ctrl C to copy, then come here, then Ctrl V to paste. So we need to reduce the size to as well. Okay, let's say this. Okay, then let's align it to the left to make our note neat. Yeah. All right. We have that. We have that one too as well. So now let's start. Let's start. Okay. So I think I got the notification. It's well. All right. It's okay. So now let's start our enumeration from our CLI with AWS CLI. Let's try to list the bucket. Now what you are going to do, The last one when we were enumerating AWS IAM, that's Identity Access Management. So if you press tab here, you see list of AWS commands. But here we are doing S3. We are doing for S3. Let me clear my screen. S3, you can see what are the commands you have available in S3. We have S3, we are not doing S3 API space. You can see we can do S3 CP. CP means copy, LS means list, make bucket means create a bucket, move, copy and move, design. All this one will still get there later. But we want to list the buckets. We want to list this bucket. So we do AWS S3 list. Then we type the bucket name. Let me try to copy the bucket here. What should I have it here? So S3 LS. Then let me try to do that here. This one S3. Oh, sorry. Now, if you remember from our last class, we configured the profile. We configured the profile that is initiating this. One thing about AWS CLI version 2 is that it authenticates who is performing the action. But because we don't have an access key and a secret access key to log in to perform this operation as a user, so we don't have that. We don't have the access key and the secret key, secret access key. So what you are going to do here is that we are going to tell you that um, no sign request. There's no sign request. So that is this request is not signed. We are not signing it. So this we allow on the proof that we were able to list this bucket means that this bucket is publicly available to anyone. It's a public bucket. To even make your website public, you have to make it a public bucket. Fine. But now we are now being able to enumerate the folders in the bucket. Now we are enumerating the folders in the bucket. So now let's list the content in each folder. Let's try for admin. If you're able to list, we're not access denied, we got access denied. That is, you don't have enough permission to list to enumerate the admin bucket. Let's do migration files. If we're able to list that, no. Let's do shared. So this is what we do as a pen tester. And please, I want to state this one more time again that everything you learn in this class is for educational purpose. So don't, please do not attack a live S3 bucket without the owner's permission or consent. Please, it's very important because what we are diving into now is a real practical scenario. It can work on any environment. That's why I'm stating this. This is a practical one, please. So now let's list this share folder. Now we're able to enumerate this shared folder. You can see that now we have a zip file here. So now we want to download it. We want to download that share folder. Or better still, we can just list the rest If we can get valuable information, let's leave static. Remaining. So these are just the scripts, JS and style.css. We don't need that. So this one contain an information that you can make use of. You can see here. So we listed admin and migration. We got nothing, but from here we got something here. Now let me copy this and let me list this folder. So to now to copy to download this HTML this HL dot migration project.zip into our own Kali Linux machine, we are going to do CP. CP means copy. Now, where are we copying from? We are copying from this S3 bucket. It's shared, not static. We are now copying from this S3 bucket the name of the file. We are copying this HL migration project from this S3 bucket to this directory. Now, I don't want to do it here actually. I should create a file. I think I have it downloaded here. So this dot means this current directory. That's what it means. That dot means the present directory that we are into. So if you do ls, you are going to find it here. This is it. Well, please permit me. Let me quickly let me clear my screen. Let me quickly make. Let me just call this practice. Yeah. Okay. So we have okay. All right. So let me let me download it again. Let me download it here. So it's going on. Don't worry, we are safe. Don't be scared. All right. So we've downloaded it. List. You can see we have it here. Now we need to unzip this one. Now, if you don't have Linux experience, the dot means the present directory we are working on. If we do ls dash la, we are going to find it. This is the dot. The dot means this present directory. If you do cd dot dot, it will take us to the previous one. But this is the present one we are working on. Dot. If you do dot dot, it will take us back. Now let me show you an example. You can see we're now back to the present to the previous directory. So that's what it means. I want to make sure that I explain every concept and you know what each command stands for. So now we are going to unzip this. Unzip, just type the name. You can press tab to auto complete. Then let's press enter. Now we've unzipped this folder and we have, you can see migrate secrets.ps1. PS1 is a PowerShell script. This is a PowerShell script. This can contain a very sensitive information. Now let's list the content in this folder. To do that, we are going to do cat, that is concatenate. So it's going to list it out here. You can see in this script, this is what this script is all about now. You can see this script has AWS configuration. This one has access key, secret key. This kind of misconfiguration can be found in some AWS S3 bucket when it's not properly configured. You can see now, they might think that they saved this script now into the S3 bucket, not knowing, and thinking that they saved, not knowing that as an hacker, now as an ethical hacker, as a penetration tester, or even as a malicious attacker, they can exfiltrate this information. They can get it. You can see now, this is just as if we are attacking a real life S3 bucket. If you try to create a bucket by yourself, try to put in a static website, try to upload the folder, make it public, and test it on your own bucket yourself, you are going to see that you are going to find everything here, except it's not properly secure. Now we are breaking it now. We are breaking it. You can see. Now we are going to copy this information. This is finding. So we copy it, Ctrl Shift plus C. So we gather this information. Now, one thing to note, if you want to paste a code and you want it to just look like code, there's difference between this now. Let me try to open my notepad. There's difference between this and this that I'm going to show you now. This one might, but this might not be visually appealing enough. Now, to do this in a way that is visually appealing, like a code, you are going to press backtick. There is something called backtick on your keyboard. It is below escape key on your keyboard. If you check, I think because of my keyboard arrangement, it's below my own escape key, and I think that's why it is on other keyboard. You are going to see it, then you press it, backtick. It's different from this. It's backtick. You press it 3 times, then it will open a code block. Now paste it here. You can see here now. It's automatically detected that it's a JavaScript. So you can paste code here. You can see that's why I said this is one thing I found interesting about this notion. You can see how our information gathering is looking like. So we've copied this information. Now, if you remember that enumerating our S3 bucket, we're not able to enumerate the admin and shared folder and migration file rather. Now, let's try to log in with this access key and secret key and see if we have more privilege than just an anonymous user. So now what you are doing now is privilege escalation. Before when we started, we don't have much privilege. You cannot list some folders. You cannot get some content. Now, because we have access to an access key and a secret key, we are now going to escalate our privilege from lower privilege to higher privilege with this credential. Now, let's do that now. You can see it even stated the region. The region is US East. And it's very important in AWS. If you are trying to enumerate US West, it should not give you the right content. So the region is as well very important. Now, let's log in with this user. I will copy this, clear my screen. So now we are going to do AWS configure. Remember from our last class. Then we are going to create a profile for this. Let's just call this S3. Enter. We are going to paste it. Enter. I think before, because I have it configured before. Then copy the access key as well. Copy this. Come here, paste it. Control plus Shift V. Enter. If this is blank in your own, do not worry. Just type US East 1. US East 1. Enter. Output format JSON. Enter. So we get it signed late. Now let's try to now list our S3 bucket with this profile. Before we were using no sign request, if you remember, no sign request rather. Yeah, we were using no sign request. But now we are going to add a profile. We are going to add a profile. Now we are performing this operation with the access key. Let me now try to list the admin folder that we tried earlier. Let's try to list the admin. This one is to list is ls. Always remember to add this / at the front of every folder. If you just remove the slash, it means that it's a file, and this is not a file. Any file that you find this / in Linux, it means that it's a folder. So press enter. Let's try to list, if you can list the content here. You can see we were able to list this admin. Previously, we were not able to, all right, because you don't have enough privilege. And let me try to prove that again. If you use no sign request, you will not be able to list it. But because we performed this from the previous, you can see access denied. Now, if you now use the profile we created, now we have access to list it. So this privilege escalation. Now let's see um if you can copy content from here. Let's type flag, let's type flag dot txt, and let's try to do cp, that is copy. Sorry, I missed something here. AWS S3. Oh, I missed the directory I want to copy it to, the path I want to copy it to. Do not forget dot, that is the present working directory. You can see we have an error. We do not have access to copy, but we have access to list. Before we did not have access to this. Now we've escalated the privilege. Now we can list. Let's try the other one. That was export does something. Let me try to check it now from the previous command. So let's see if we can copy that. Let's try the website, and that's but the best thing to do is just to copy it. It will take a long time. Copy it here, Ctrl Shift C, and paste it, Ctrl Shift V. Let's try this too as well. It's forbidden as well. So we can list the content in this S3 bucket and in this folder, but we cannot copy it. That is, we cannot download it to our own machine locally. So now let's try the other one that we tried to list earlier, and that's migration, right? But even if we forget, we can try to list this bucket again. Yeah. Now let's enumerate the migration files. Remember to put the forward slash, to add the forward slash. Now we can list these two as well. Now let's try to copy. You can see AWS secret key, secret manager migration, AWS secret manager migration, discovery and design PDF. This PDF may contain sensitive information, but we find something here, migrate secret text. This might contain a vital information that we can further use. Now let's try to download that one first. Let's try to download the migrate underscore secret. Let me copy it to make my work faster. Control Shift C, and not forget. Now select the directory, the present working directory. I do not forget, you need to change the argument here from ls to cp. That is, we are copying it. We are copying from the S3 bucket to our local machine. Now let's list it. You can see we have migrate the secret as well. Now let's try to cut this. Let's try to know to open it. We find out that it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing with the previous one. You can see it's the same thing with the previous one. This one ended with GB9. Let's check. This one too ended with GB9. So we still have the same file. All right. So let's proceed further. Let's proceed further. We don't need this one. Now let's download the test. The one for test. Okay. Let's do the one for test.export. Let's do test fm export XML. Let me increase my background. A second. All right. So now let's download this one now. I've copied that. Let's download it. No, I haven't. All right. Let's download that. Now it's downloaded. Let's list text. Let me clear my screen so that we have the view. So now let's get the content in this one. Wow. We have a wealth of information here. Now from this text, you can see we have credential to log into the Oracle database credential. You can see this is the host name. We have everything we need. The username, the password. This is a common misconfiguration in S3 bucket. You can see HP server credential. You can see the username, the password, everything listed here. AWS production credential. Just imagine the access key. This one is IT AWS IT admin. This is the account ID, the access key, the secret key. Now, this is the account we are going to escalate with further. Let's copy this information, copy it and paste it. You can see we have credential to some resources here, quite a few number of them. Now, press the back tick 3 times, paste. So you can see credentials to Office 365, analyze. So, but let's be fast. This AWS IT admin, this is the access key. Now let's log in with this access key and see if we have elevated privilege. Let's log in with this access key. Now we are going to create another profile with this access key. Let me clear my screen. Let's do AWS configure. There's an error. AWS configure profile. Let's call this admin. Admin. So let me paste my access key. Then my secret access key. Control C. CTB US is the one. I'm just typing this for the sake of those who might just be doing this for the first time. On the road, I was supposed to press enter, enter, just so format. Now, you've created profile for admin. Now let's try to perform the action we tried earlier from the admin folder. You know that we were not able to download from the admin folder. Now, let's indicate the profile to be admin. Let's list the admin folder once again. Say admin. Let's do ls. ls. Let's list the content in the admin. After listing now, then we will now download. Oh, I forgot to add the forward slash. You can see it's very important. Please, as always, remember to do that. Sensitive folder. So add the forward slash. You can see you have the flag. Now let me try to download the flag.txt to this present working directory. You can see dot. Now instead of ls, it will be cp. Oh my goodness. This is not connected to power source. This one is no. So we do cp. Before we were not able to download it. It's through an error to us forbidden. Now let's see now. With the admin privilege, now we're able to download it. Let's do it. You can see this is a flag. Let's catch the flag. Flag. Sorry, I spelled that. You can see this flag here. So this flag here is what you are going to copy and paste in your phone lab. So Control Shift C, then you come to your phone lab. God have mercy. I know this thing drag like this. So this way you are going to paste the flag. You do Control V. Did I not copy it? No, I think I did. Control Shift C. So and we just paste the flag here. Control V. And you click on Submit. If it's correct, it's going to mark it flag already submitted. I've already submitted it, so it's a correct flag. So this is how I will know that we have completed this lab is that this that you complete this AWS S3 enumeration, and that's before our next class. This is an assignment now. Let's get to do that. Now, this is just the flag to completing the lab. That's not what we are after. But there is an interesting document here. That's website transactions export. As a penetration tester, you know, even as an hacker, I want to look at the transaction that is being carried on the platform. Now let's download that file. Transaction, you find credit card, client credit, customers credit card, and the likes. So let's try to download this. All right, that's downloaded. We're supposed to copy this flag.txt and paste it in our findings, but because of our time, we are running out of time. So I will not be able to do that. Now let's list. Now let's cut our website. Let's cut it. You can see now, even if our users, customers perform operation stuff like that, place order, you can see these their credit cards. These their credit card. With this, an attacker can exfiltrate all this and leak it. That's why you find issues of users' credit card exposed, yeah, PII exposed, and stuff like that. This is common misconfiguration that gives attacker the privilege to perform such actions. Right now, we've come to the end of the lab. You can see. With this now, you can use this credit card if it is a genuine one. And I think we are malicious attacker. You can use this credit card to perform different operation like place order, do some other things. We are running out of time now. Okay, the system is on there. No, I don't know of any now, but what we are doing here is that, as a cloud security professional, your clients will be the one to give you the website they want you um to perform in penetration testing on. So You are the one that will find out where the platform is being hosted on. This is cloud. Now this website is hosted in the cloud. Now, fortunately, in the lab is free. The lab is free. Yeah, this is hosted in the cloud, and not just cloud, is hosted in the S3 bucket. So that's why our scope is limited to S3 bucket. There are some that there you can get some further credential from EC2 instance, Lambda. Now, in our next class, we'll be looking into Lambda. The following one, we'll be looking into EC2 instance. So because this one is restricted to S3 bucket, that's why we are performing the attack on S3 bucket. So it will be your client will be the one to give you the scope. They will be the one to give you the scope of your testing. Is that clear? Yeah. No, no. One thing that can happen, one thing you can do with that is that you come to um your bucket here. Let me come back to the channel. My system is kind of slow now because before I was connected to power source. It's a kind of all this gaming PC. Power source do improve the performance. So um, I don't think we have much time now for the meet, Google Meet. But to do that, you can list your every S3 bucket pertain to this account with the credential you log in into. You can do AWS S3 list. This will list all the S3 buckets if this user have the privilege. Let's use the profile admin now. If this admin, oh, that was an error. Let's do profile admin. Which well, which is well. So if I press enter, if we have the permission to list all the buckets, we'll be able to list all the buckets in this account. You can see an error occurred, access denied, because we don't have this permission that is in the policy attached to this user profile. List bucket is not allowed. So if you're probably maybe while we are trying to do further enumeration, maybe if you're given another scope that you're able to get credential that has this attached, we'll be able to list the bucket. But for this one, we are restricted. So it's access denied. So that's why you cannot list all the buckets. Okay. Our call is under a minute. All right. Thank everyone for joining the class. And I hope you enjoy the class. Yeah, that's please asking, I'm sure. Very soon. I will start the compression tonight now. I will start the compression tonight. Yeah, you're welcome. And let's all do have a wonderful night rest. Good night, everyone.